What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we are playing on our free-to-play account in our Noob to Awesome series. It's day number 17. We're making a ton of progress within the game, and we're having a lot of fun. Now, tomorrow is going to be starting our free buff event. If we go to our events page, we see this special weekend buff event. For the next 3 days, we're going to have things like increased amount of gold, increased amount of crafting materials and AP, and also for our spirit altar. So now we have to come up with a plan of how to utilize this stuff. Because we're fairly new, we're going to be going into connections, and we want to make sure that we are going to finish Furious. Now, the way that we finish him is we're going to go into episode number 2 and we're going to go into map 3S4. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish this guy out right now.
Do
But I
you
want to
need a
show
healer?
you. Okay, that was very short. I want to show you where to go in order to farm this. The best place that I found was in this map, and it gives you all the knolls right here. If you do this on your AP day, not only are you going to make more stigma, but you're going to make more AP, and then we can turn that into more catalyst, which is really good. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our specialty change. Now, I'm working on Carrot, and what we see is eliminate machinery and also spirit altar. So a spirit altar, this one goes with Ras as well, where we're getting the greater runes. So you can do these at the same time. I only farm spirit altar on the buff day so that you get double your normal amount of runes, and that makes it sort of worth it. And I also have a tip about spirit altar, and we're going to get to that in a second. But very first thing is if we go back to Carrot, these machinery are in unrecorded history, and I'm going to farm them in the map number 7, or not 7, I'm going to farm them in S1 right here. This is going to give you the most amount of machinery. For Ras, this is where 7 comes into play. If you want to do unrecorded history, we do have some of his material here. We also see them into the episode 2 number 10-1. But I want to show you a quick difference here. If we farm this into unrecorded history, you have a chance to get a epic catalyst, which is a really good opportunity. You can also farm this into episode number 210-1, and that's going to give you something a little bit different. So this is going to be your choice and what you want to do to be able to farm this material. 10-1 doesn't drop the epic catalyst, but what we see down here are the 2-star monsters, which has its own benefit. This will enable us maybe to just release them and get some more stigma, or to evolve them and release them and hopefully try and make some more materials promote. So this is up to you which one that you want to farm. Obviously, if you're more into mid game and you really need those catalysts, then farming there is a better idea. For me, though, I think that I'm going to try and build up sort of a team of level 60s. So I really want to come in and I really want to farm into 10-1. This is also going to give me a chance, if you haven't already, to buy the Breath of Orbis. But I'm going to buy some of these Mysterious Flash. This is going to help me to do the Awakening and the skill ups on my Adventurer Ras. So this is what I'm going to be buying. And the next thing is we're going to go into Pillis. I'm going to finish Pillis as well. If we go down to her, we see that we're going to eliminate 150 of these shades and defeat Mursa. So very first thing with Mursa is this is in the Labyrinth. So we're going to go there, and I'm going to show you exactly where she is in case you haven't found her yet. She's going to be into, I think it's area number 1. There she is right here. So it shows you which monsters are going to appear in this map, and you have to defeat Mursa. When you go in, she'll be on your map on the very bottom south. So if you've already done it, you can just teleport there. And if you haven't, just make your way down south until you get to about the middle. For the shades, we're going to go back into unrecorded history. And I ended up farming these into number 33. They also appear into one of the other maps as well. But if we look at 33, the shade appears as a monster, which means that there's more than one in there. If we come down, I think it's around about 12. It's not. Is it 22? It's 22. In 22, we see the shade is going to be the boss, which means that he's probably only going to appear one time. So what we want to do is, even though you can get an epic catalyst here, you're going to finish it much faster if you go into number 33. And that's really going to help us to be able to finish out all of these specialty change and also into the connection as well. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about our teams. I'm getting so tired of having just 2 teams that we're going to come in and we're going to make some more. So if we go into our team setting, you see there's a button here called Add Team, and it does cost a little bit of gold. We have 38 million, so not really a problem. We're just going to start adding some teams here. A little bit of Sky Stones, and I'm only going to add 8. Now you can also rename these teams, and you can name them anything that you want. We're going to go ahead and we'll rename this one Epic. I always have one that is for farming because this gives me a chance to put people in that maybe need some experience. Then we're also going to go with one for just Spirit Altar. Hopefully I spelled that right. No spaces. There we go. Now, the big reason we want one for Spirit Altar is because it allows us to have a Spirit Altar pet. So we want to always have a pet available that is going to be doing Spirit Altar, and that way we're going to be able to get those bonuses as we're doing our different kinds, right? So in farming, I want to make sure that I'm using my side story pet. In Epic, this can be for anything. This could be like for Hall of Trials. It could be just for you just trying out different teams or going into a special side story. So we have farming, we have Spirit Altar, and then we're going to come in and we're going to make a raid team as well. This is going to help me to where I don't have to constantly switch out all of my raid guys over and over again. And you don't really, it doesn't really matter which pet you have here, but I always like to assign a pet just in case you accidentally click on this team and then you want to farm. So once we have these basic ones down, now we can start to come into other teams as well. So we can have a W13 team, and this is going to have your hunt pet in it. We can have a G13 team, B13. We're seeing this is going to be a lot. A13. Let's make one more. And I'm going to name this one, obviously, C13. Now, once I have those down, we need some more, right? And I want to make 3 more. And these are going to be all arena teams. So you can name these whatever you want for whatever team that you like to use. But what I like to do is I like to have 3 different teams. One is typically going to be a scenario team. This is something that's going to be like, what if you want someone who is targeting based on non-attack skills, right? What if you want one that's a speed team because you get that awesome speed gear and you want to take that first turn? Or what if you want, just a counter bruiser team? Then you don't have to switch out all of your heroes all the time. So this is really how I like to keep all my teams organized, and that way it helps me a lot. When I want to do W13, I have my team already set. When I want to come in and do A13, I have my team already set, and then now I can efficiently go in and now start to finish out all of the hunts or all the missions or whatever it is I'm doing. Next up, we're going to be talking about skins. If you are new, you might never have gotten a skin, and this is going to be your very first opportunity with Red Lotus Fighter. You should get this in your mail once you finish the free spirit, and so we're going to go ahead and we're going to collect this. Now, when we go into our hero menu, we're going to go down to free spirit. I haven't really been a fan of this skin, so we're going to go ahead and change it, and I want you to click on details. Then we're going to click on this little thing here, and now we're going to go ahead and equip her. Some of her voice lines might have changed at this point, and now you're able to sort of, connect with that hero in a very different way. Also, while we're here, let's go ahead. Oh, this is really nice. I do like that. Let's go ahead and we're going to switch our background as well. I don't have many backgrounds, so we're just going to go ahead and switch it to this. In one of our last videos, we talked about where to get those backgrounds. I just haven't harvested them yet. I like her boots. That is much tougher than whatever she was wearing before. Very nice skin, very nice upgrade for your hero. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go into our pets. We've hit on this a little bit in the past, and we've also hit on this with our teams. We want to have different kinds of pets. Once we are able to get some S rank pets, now we're going to be able to save those pets to build upon our star levels as we go into 2 and 3 stars. It's going to be pretty important to have these better ranking skills. So if we go into this guy, I got my very first one here. So you want to lock down any one of these heroes or these pets that have the S rank for everything that you want. And here are the ones that I am going to target. If we go into our skills here, for the lobby pet, I really want to have the Inquimp Enhance Experience, also the Good Chance and the Great Chance. This is what I like because it ticks a much higher success rate for your experience when you're getting a lot of gear. Some people, and I've done this before, gold earned from selling equipment's not that bad. So this is actually not a bad one to have if you'd like to swap one of these out for this. I also do like the hero level up XP. Before the Stigma upgrade, this wasn't that great, but now it is pretty good. I think that it has a usefulness into Endgame, but then once you're in Endgame, probably not as useful because you're getting a ton of Stigma and you have minimal heroes to level up. At first, Hero X level up XP is a lot better, but it kind of trails off at the end. So I'm just going to focus on those ones, and then hopefully we get them as we start to skill up our pets. For side story, there's only 3 here. We have Event Currency, Double XP, and a Rare Catalyst. Spirit Altar, the exact same thing. Additional runes onto our easy, our normal, and our difficult. And then the hunt has 4. So we have double crafting materials, 1 additional piece of hunt gear, a lesser charm, and additional reforge materials. So in my opinion, I do like the 1 additional piece of equipment because that is the whole reason why you're in hunt in the first place. I also like to have the 1 lesser charm, and I also like to have the reforged materials. Now, if you don't want to have this lesser charm, you can pull the other 3, but you can only have 3 of these, so make sure that you pick the ones that are going to be best suited for you. A lot of times we don't have enough charms. If you're very picky on the gear that you're enhancing, you probably have a ton of charms, and if you're enhancing just everything, then maybe you don't have enough. So basically, based on that is if you're going to pick this up or if you're not. I also do want to talk about one other thing. There's this button here called play, and every single day we want to come in and use this on your pets. So I do know that I'm keeping this pet. He's my level 3, and I do know I'm keeping this pet here. You can play with any one of your pets, and it will be good. Now, as you level up onto your affinity, as long as you use this one to make the next star level, all this affinity is going to carry over. As you level up the affinity, then these percentages will get to a much higher rate. So that's what we want, right? We want to utilize what the game gives us and get the most out of it. It takes a long time clicking this play button at 50 stigma each time, but we're going to get a lot over time if we do it every single day. Make sure that you're doing this. We're also coming in today and we're finishing out floor 25, level 2. Now, with the beginner gear, I have been able to completely conquer level 1 without any problem. Now we're on level 2, and it was a little bit harder, but having that Montmorency specialty change has helped us out quite a lot. If we look at our device inventory, Again, with this season, we're looking for Special Nail. So this is going to really help us to do a lot of damage. We also have the class enhancement, which is going to give us additional stats. And then there's this thing here called Front Row Device, which is very interesting. What it does is it provokes all the enemies for one turn. It makes you hit the front row target. Then that front row target is going to inflict damage back based on his max health. Unfortunately, I only got the first one, but this is still going to be very, very good for us as we go through and we're going to start to fight this boss. This is pretty much the team that I went with the whole time. They are not too bad. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to be starting with the barrier, and that does help as we're going through. Because we don't have a ton of healing, we haven't finished that specialty change on Montmorency quite yet, and so we need to be able to do that over the course of this next weekend. But you can see these heroes are taking damage as they're hitting Ras, and especially with the ones that are going to be AoE, they're going to continually take 6,000 damage here, and that's going to be pretty good.
I'll keep going.
I think what we want to do is we want to target this Rowana because we want her to die, right? We don't want her to be healing up. That Special Nail just doing a ton of work for us. Let's go ahead and we're going to get another battle here.
Here I go. Command me. Blaze.
Very nice, and she's almost dead. Now the problem we're going to have is probably going to be with this Tenebria because she's water and we don't have anything but fire, guys. I think that might be a problem. But let's go ahead and we are going to, I think that we're going to double up. Let's do that.
What fool dares to challenge me? I'll blow you away.
Set 82,000. That was pretty darn good. Now when we do a single target attack, we're building up these special nails, so make sure you're using the S1 when you can. Let's go ahead and we are just gonna tear these guys apart. No more Rowana, can't heal you. There we go. I can't wait for this Mercedes to be really good at the end of episode 3. We're going to be starting episode 3 here coming up on Monday. This weekend, we're really going to be farming a lot, and we're not going to worry too much about doing any more into the story until we get through and start to do these specialty changes, right? But there you go. Number 25. Not too bad. With that, let's go ahead and we're going to do some summons today. I'm really hoping for a Tenebria, so I hope you guys are praying for that. Rank up pack 2, somebody reminded me I have not collected this, and that's true. I was waiting for number 60, but don't forget about these rank up packs. I think there's also a rank up pack 3, so that'll be good. Now we're going to come in and pull some Galaxy bookmarks. While I'm here too, remember we always buy these Molagora. I'm going to buy the Spirit Bloom. I'm definitely going to buy this equipment conversion. No matter if you're a beginner or an endgame, make sure that you're buying this. And I know that I'm going to need a lot of these fragments, so I'm just going to go ahead and stack up a little bit right now. But you can buy 2 a week, so it's not really a big deal. I'm just buying them basically because I'm here. As we get further into sort of our later game, we're going to be buying some of these artifact charms, but we're not quite ready for that yet, and that's all right. Let's see what we have here. Okay. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to come in and get those so that we can now go in and do our elemental summons. So let's get a warm-up here on Covenant. Be nice to me. Timeless Anchor. It used to be pretty good, but they nerfed it, unfortunately. Cannot use that anymore. And just like that, we're gonna get one more Moonlight Summon.
Take your time.
Nice. Did not know. That was a good surprise. I like that when that happens. Now, as you guys know, we talked about this before. These elemental summons are typically going to be from your guild events. When you finish all of your quests for the week, or when you're doing the guild boss, or you're doing guild PvE, this is where you're going to get primarily most of your connections from. But we got some of these from our quests that we've done for our newbie quests, and so let's go ahead and use them. Now, as we go into the water one, there's a lot of good water heroes that we want. I would really like a Crow. I love a Crow. I wouldn't mind Shu either. She's pretty good. Archer. Furious. I just got Furious. Oh man. Well, Furious, he's okay. As a beginner, he's going to help you through some of the Wyvern. Because he's able to increase crit chance by 50%, this means that you're guaranteed to hit that 85% threshold, and now he gets an extra turn to apply this decreased defense. The problem with Furious is that you have to have Molagora into him to get him to that 100% chance to land the defense break. So there are other heroes that we could use if we got them, but Furious is pretty good when you're going through the Wyvern. Now, obviously, with fire, I really want to have Tamarin. Come on. You haven't given me anything so far. Give me a Tamarin. Okay. Okay, I'm getting excited. Oh. Okay. Well, that's okay. We have a Katie's. Katie's is pretty good. We talked about her a lot so far. Primarily, she's going to be a really good hero for you into Guild War. What she does is she's going to be able to do invincibility onto a hero or onto herself, and that's going to reduce the skill cooldown by 1 turn. Now, this is very important because if you use an S3, you're going to heal everyone. And that's going to be on a 3-turn cooldown. Now you decrease your own cooldown. This means that you can S3, S2, S3, S2, and it just keeps going and going and going. Very, very important. Onto my endgame account, I use this a lot into raid for the Secretary Vera, so she was really good for that. We don't get a Tamarin. That's unfortunate. But let's go ahead. We have 2 summons here. Galaxy Bookmarks. Gonna get that spark, right? We don't. We're gonna get Arowell. We're gonna get Arowell. We got Arowell. That is awesome. We're gonna do the Arowell specialty change as well. She is fantastic, or I guess the dude, he is pretty cool. One of the meta knights that came out. You don't really get to see it a lot, but he does have that stun onto his S3. It's going to be granting a barrier, and then he's going to be getting escort on this passive ability, which is basically a built-in Aureus, right? We're going to have to eventually start to build this hero up with effect resist to make sure that it doesn't get dispelled very easily, but this is a hero that you need. Very, very fun. I'm glad I got this. Almost as good as a 5-star. I mean, not quite. We still want that spark. No sparking again. Oh, come on. I don't need any thief heroes.
My name is Penelope Travanti. When it comes to skill and bravery, I'm second only to the queen.
Okay, Penelope. I desperately wanted Penelope to work. I tried her, and I just wasn't impressed. She's interesting for sure. So on our S3, reduce resource reduction. So this means that they are not going to be stacking up fighting spirit and focus, and that's okay. Then we get an attack for 2 turns at 100% and grants stealth. Decrease buff duration on all allies by 1 turn, gives before granting a barrier to herself only and an extra turn, so she can use the S2, then use the S3 for a 2 or a decrease attack for 2 turns, 1 turn stun, 2 turn stealth. That's a lot of text. And then now we have an S1 where she increases combat readiness. So, I really wanted her to work. I think that if she was a 4 or 5-star hero, she would be super OP. but because she's a 3-star hero and her stats are pretty low, you need amazing gear to make her work, and it's just not worth it. But she is a super cool hero. I would really like to use her. I can't invest that much into this hero. One of our major goals for this very first buff weekend is to make sure that we can do a lot of our specialty changes. Now, what I'm going to do as well is I already know I really wanted Arowell, so we're going to come in and we are going to be using one of our potions of ascension. That is going to be fantastic. Can't wait for this. Confirm, do it. Level 60. Very nice. We're going to be spending a lot of time this weekend now ranking this hero up and getting them into a fighting mode as we go through a lot of our hunts, as we get gear, and as we're able to now put these heroes in. So let's go ahead and we are going to talk about that. Let's use Arowell. Why not? Who else can we use? Let's use Dark Corvus. We're going to be ranking him up as well. Let's go ahead. We're going to switch that. And ideally, we want to come into the Spirit Altar, right? That's why we made this team. So let's go ahead and we're just going to switch that real fast. Now, today is the Light Spirit Altar day. We're going to do it onto double speed, but this one does take a little bit longer than most. When you're doing Spirit Altar, this is actually very important because Spirit Altar does not have Stigma mileage. That means that every max level hero that you enter into your Spirit Altar is XP that's now lost. Ideally, if we could do it with one hero, that's what we would want to do. Put one max level hero in that can do it, and then put in other heroes as well that need experience, because now we're going to be generating a lot of hero levels without sacrificing that stigma that we would normally lose by putting in heroes that need experience into story mode or into unrecorded history. So today, unfortunately, we don't get double, but you can see no stigma mileage down here, and we only get 12 stigma. So make sure as you're coming into Spirit Altar that one, you are farming out the runes that you need to complete your specialty change, but two, that you're putting in heroes that need experience. Now, utilizing some of your 3, 4, and 5-star heroes is going to help you level them up. The 4 and 5-star heroes, very important as well, that you get friendship and you can get that in your Spirit Altar. But also think of it outside the box a little bit. You can take in your 2-star heroes. They're going to level up. Now we can promote them without utilizing our penguins or sacrificing some of that stigma, putting them into the story mode or unreported history. And this is going to be great opportunity, right? Because now we have a much lower cost to promote them while still getting all the benefits of being able to transmit that 3-star hero that we just promoted. So this is very good. I have something like 70 or 80. Once I'm done with my 3, 4, 5-star heroes, now I'm going to start putting in these 2 stars. It only takes 3 levels for you to max them out, which is really, really very good. It's going to mean that you can now come in and do quite a lot of them very quickly. You see, they was jumped straight to level 12, and that is a very good opportunity for us. I'm really excited. We're going to be starting Arowell Specialty Change. Let's go ahead and we are going to suspend Carrot just for right now so we can see where we're going to be farming for this Arowell. There we go. Let's go ahead and start this. Now on to the details. It says defeat 100 Order of the Shield soldiers in South Weatherick Moor with Arowell, so she must be on your team. Oh, it is a girl. It is I said it was a dude. It was a girl. They gave her an upgrade. She got a lot of personality. Let's go ahead. We're going to try something. We're going to go into our unrecorded history. Wow, I'm thrown off. They really changed. They really gave her an upgrade. We're going to come down here and we see that we have that type of creature in 19. So really what I want to know here is, are we going to be able to farm this in unrecorded history, or do we have to now go into that very
Witness my
particular map
power.
to farm it out? Of course, I'm using a kind of a buffed up hero here
Chaos.
to be able to clear this very quickly for the video. Ideally, what I would do is I would put in 4 max level heroes. That's going to
Dark
give you
blade.
the most stigma benefit of
Call,
any type of combination.
unveil your
So
eye
keep
of
that in
terror.
mind as you're going through and you're
Can you hold
leveling
out
up,
much longer?
or you're, farming AP, or you're doing some of these quests. Try and use
I
4
am
max
your
level heroes.
opponent.
Witness
Also,
my
try and use
power.
heroes that are 4 and 5 star that need to have
Obey me.
friendship, because that's going to give you the free
Obey
molar
me.
aura. That's what that team called farming is going to be for. I'm going to put teams in there that need to have the friendship. That way I can utilize them wherever I need to. And see, we only got 66 here, and that's because we are missing that fourth hero, and our Arowell needs to have some more experience. Make sure that you're using a maxed out hero, and that's going to work out a lot better for you. Now, going to our Arowell, did she's a girl, get credit. She did. Do not go to episode number 1 to farm this. You'll get 5 for farming that stage in unrecorded history. You're going to get much more benefit because you get more AP. Also, there's a much better exchange. So, this is where you're going to want to go. Because you have to gift 2 fighter medals, the 20 levels that you need here is going to help get you more AP. That way, that you're able to get these catalysts, give it to Airwell, and she is going to be on your team for probably the rest of your life. So, very good investment there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Good luck on the buff weekend to farm as much as you need to, as much as you can, to further progress in the game. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.